So this is the second day we're going to discover properties of kites. So your do now is to see if you can find more missing angles in here. So if I know that this one's 70 degrees and this one's 70 degrees, well now I know I can find J. 70 plus 70 is 140. So 140 plus 40 is going to give me 180. So now I know J is 40. So let's keep going from there. This one's 30, this one's 70, that's 100. So then P right here is going to have to be 80 because this also makes a straight line with these three. So that's 100, so P I know is 80. Where can I go from there? I see a trapezoid. All right, so keep working on this and see as many relationships as you can find. All right. So today we're going to explore the properties of a kite, and please remember that a kite has no parallel sides. So the first thing we're going to do is label our kite A, B, C, D. Please label yours like this. And then you're going to measure each side and record the measurements, figure out which angles are congruent, and draw the diagonals and see if you can find a relationship there. So go ahead and use your protractor and discover these properties. Okay, so I went through, and first I labeled the kite A, B, C, D. Check. All right, now I'm going to measure each side, and I use the centimeters, and I just estimated. So I got about 3 centimeters here, 3 centimeters here, and I got 5 centimeters and 5 centimeters. So the conclusion I could draw was that these sides are congruent to each other, these sides are congruent to each other, but I have to use different tick marks because the longer side is not congruent to the shorter side. Okay. So that's measuring each side. Now I got to go ahead and I measured each angle as well. And I got this angle is 110 degrees. And I did actually get 110 degrees here as well. All right, and then up here I got 88 degrees. And then down here I got 52 degrees. So I can then mark this angle and this angle because the two angles opposite each other are going to be congruent, across from each other, I should say. Now I can double check to make sure that I did this correctly. If I take 110 plus 110 plus 88 plus 52, this is a quadrilateral, so it should add up to 360. And I did the math, in fact it does. So I know that angle A is congruent to angle C. And I know that AB is congruent to BC. And I know that AD is congruent to CD. And again, these are angles, these are side lengths. All right, now it says to draw the diagonals. So I'm going to kind of try to, so one diagonal is actually going straight down, and the other one's going straight across, like that. And I measured this angle here, and I actually realized it does make a 90-degree angle. So the diagonals are going to make a 90-degree angle where they cross. And they also bisect each other. So, well, they don't bisect each other. The one bisects. So this side is congruent to this side. So I know, let's call this point P, that AP is congruent to CP. CP. Okay, that's that. Those are the special relationships in a kite. And so again, you have to know these special relationships so that you can set up equations and solve problems. Activity 3, this is a handout. Actually, let me see. This is actually page 20 in your packet. It's just not in order. So go ahead and solve page 20 in your packet. We can do number 1 together if you'd like. Okay. Oh, that's cute. They called it kite. Like that. Okay, so then it says KIT, angle KIT. So this angle here is 82 degrees. Then the measure of angle 8. All right, now this is interesting. The diagonals actually bisect the angles. So if the whole angle is 82, each side is going to be 82 divided by 2. So this side is 41, and this side is 41, because it bisects. Let's look at example number 2. It says if KT is 34 degrees, then KS, so again, there's S right here. If the whole thing, remember, I know that these two are going to be equal to each other. So if the whole thing is 34, then if I just do 34 divided by 2, which is 17, then I know this side is going to be 17 degrees, and this side is also going to be 17 degrees because of the word bisect. So you should be able to finish page 20. Please note that the answers are down there in the corner. All right. And then when you're done with page 20, there are 3 more sample problems that you can work out, and this is back on page 14 to answer questions about the kite, the kite. All right, so to start, it says the diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. The angle measures of a triangle add up to 180. Write an equation with n equals 1. Well, you can also say that the angle measures in a triangle add up to 180, and a quadrilateral they equal 360. Just saying. All right, so the measure of angle 1 plus 18 plus, and we know that this right here is a 90-degree angle, equals 180. So you can figure out the measure of angle 1 real easy by adding 18 plus 90. So I'll call this 1, the measure of angle 1 plus, what is that, 18, that's 8. 108 equals 180. Subtract 108. So the measure of angle 1 equals 72 degrees. And if angle 1 is 72 degrees, then I know that angle 2 is also 72 degrees. So once again, I know that this is 110, so I know that this one's going to be 110. So then I can do 110 plus 110 plus 98 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 360. So blank plus blank plus blank plus blank equals 360. So from there, and here, if this is 48, I know this is 48, is it bisecting? And I know this is a 90-degree angle because that's where they bloop, bloop. That's where they bisect. Now, if I look at this big triangle right here, this is kind of cool. There's a couple ways I could do it. I could do 48 plus 48 plus 2x, right? Or I could just look at this little triangle right here, and I could say 90 plus 48 plus the measure of angle 1 equals 180. Because the measures in a triangle equal 180. So there's a lot of fun ways to solve this problem. All right, that's all I have for you for kites. So at this point, you're ready to start reviewing and to take the test. That's all the new information I have for you. So you want to review Module 5 packet, which is a total of 20 pages. And any questions you have, ask me. There's a video for the review as well if you have any further questions.